Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And if you're having your coffee or your tea this morning, enjoy it. And I hope you're enjoying it in our company.
We sure hope so. Welcome back, everybody. The morning show continues. And up next, we're talking about orientation, which is going to be taking place very soon at Galen. We're going to find out when. We're going to find out more details right now from our next guest. We have Miss Sylvia Bate. She is the Director of Student Affairs at Galen. Welcome back to our studio.
Welcome. Thank you.
We have Miss Glitzy Kukul. She is a peer mentor at Galen University. And then we also have Mr. Omar Phillips. He is a peer mentor as well at Galen. So good to have you here. I think this might be your first time in our studios? Yes. So it's our pleasure having you here. Let me beat Ernesto to it. He's going to say you don't look like a student, Miss Glitzy. But let's start with you, Miss Sylvia Bate. What there's obviously a schedule.
Absolutely.
That you know there's applications, there's acceptance, and now it's time for the new semester to begin, and orientations are about to take place.
Absolutely. So orientation is actually one of the most exciting times for us at Galen. The next exciting time is definitely graduation. But we always look forward to welcoming our new students on campus. You have that vibrance, you have that campus atmosphere, you're seeing new faces, but you're really also meeting the new students that you will be guiding throughout their academic year. So for us right now, we're actually at the point where we have close to 300 students that we're going to welcome to our campus starting next week. And our applications, yes, starting next week, actually starting next week Monday. So we have a variety of activities planned, both in person and online. And our first activity starts on Monday, and it's our virtual launch to all of our orientation activities.
So this is a virtual orientation?
So we have in-person orientation, and because we have a lot of mature and non-traditional students, our education majors, for example, they're already prepping to be back in the classroom. We do have to have some virtual components accessible to them, but we have both of those lined up starting next week, Monday.
Now, of these 300 students or so, let's do a breakdown. How many men, how many women, are most of them coming from professions, or do we have some coming straight from high school? And which faculty is the most popular?
Well, the question about the faculty, maybe I'll divert on that one. But I will say that is a really, really great question. So I won't speak to our incoming students, I will speak to graduation. We recently had our graduation in July, and we had over 80% females graduating. So that is 8 women to every 2 men within our classroom if we're going out of 10. We have seen within the past couple of years an increase in women in the classroom, and this is across all majors. So we're seeing low enrollment rates for men within the education program. We're seeing some traditionally male-dominated fields now have equal representation between men and women. So because Galen University is responsive, we actually have a campaign currently ongoing to get our young men back into school, because we're looking at the numbers and we're seeing that there is actually a lower rate. In terms of what enrollment looks like within the faculties, we actually have very, very good enrollments for education. So we have a lot of education. Our teachers are coming back into the classroom. They're getting certified in different subject areas. We also, of course, the business faculties lead with popularity, but we have solid numbers for environmental science. We have solid numbers for criminal justice, especially with our computer sciences. And we have new and exciting programs as well. So we're doing a lot of work within the anthropology program. I think we were just on Billy's Watch recently. We have very exciting master degree programs. So we have Masters of Developmental Studies, our Master of Social Work. We just graduated our first cohort. So across the board, we see people coming in from high school. We see people who are mature and non-traditional, so maybe within their 30s and going back into the education system. But overall, low enrollment rates for our boys. So boys, young men, if you're listening to this, come back to school, Galen University. Admissions are still open. So we're starting orientation, but you still have some time to get in your applications.
This disparity between male and female enrollment and graduating, completing and earning degrees is exciting and scary at the same time.
It is.
Because I think, Ernesto, we can comfortably say now that women are out earning men. But
I
we
think
won't.
so.
We won't dive too
no,
deep.
no, I have been, I've been convinced of that for a while now.
Yes.
Well, do we have the
More
statistics to
women are
back
out
it
Yes.
there.
up?
I would think, maybe this is a social study at Galen, that women, I think, are more motivating and moving the economy, especially the middle income economy of this country, than men.
Yeah, and also that's good news for young men like Mr. Omar, because now the college educated man is going to be in more demand, right?
Absolutely.
With low supply, high demand. So just saying. But Glitzy and Omar, let's start with you, Glitzy. In order to be a peer mentor, is there a special training that you have to go through? What prepares you to be a peer mentor?
Well, yes, as peer mentors, we're students who have been with the school for 2 semesters or more. And then we also go through a lot of training throughout the semester. For instance, right now we're actually having our training tomorrow to start out the semester. So every time before the semester starts, the peer mentors gather and we have our training to gain the skills, to gain perhaps new experiences and try to see different scenarios that perhaps may come up, because we know life happens and people go through different things throughout the semester, and we're always there to just support them. And we also have support from the student affairs for our peer mentors too throughout the semester.
Do you being a new student, I come and I say, what's the latest gossip on campus? Do you tell me that? Or
Who should I look out for?
Exactly,
Who should I look out
Let's say
for?
who do they want to think that?
What
then
teacher should I not mess around with?
you do that too, right?
That is such a great question.
Well, our lecturers have always been supportive, so there's never been much of an issue
I
there.
know you can answer that question.
It's okay. We know.
I understand.
We actually, within our peer mentor program, sort of see it as a 4-step journey. So the first one is actually creating that connection with your mentees and that trust, sustaining that trust throughout the semester, but also keeping your boundaries and detaching, because the peer mentor program is for the entire semester. So they do get to guide students, and I think that is one of the things that really stands out about Galen. Every new student, whether you're at the undergraduate level straight out of high school or returning to school, you get matched with somebody that has been in the university, and they're your point of contact for most of your questions that you might have.
But your demographic is so diverse now.
Yes,
than
it is.
universities were, say, 10,
Yes.
15 years ago.
Yes.
When basically everybody came from high school.
Yes.
Now you may have to mentor
Yes.
me.
Yes.
I may suddenly
Yeah.
I want to
Mentor.
and I will ask you that who that is,
Glitzy is very firm,
who
so
are the I want who that influential teachers,
Yes.
who I could
How do I win
manipulate.
over Miss Sylvia,
Exactly.
so Glitzy is very,
Like
very
so-
firm. We started her off with, because she was, 18 when you joined the
18,
program? A year ago?
Yes.
So she's 19 now. But we started her off with the high school students, but we saw that she was able to handle herself, so we've definitely matched her with
Awesome.
mature and non-traditional
But you
students
have
moving on.
What's the number like comparison with on-campus students as opposed to online?
We have about 60 to 65% of our students, incoming students, because we've already done those statistics, that are actually fully online students.
Okay.
Yep.
So like 40% would be on campus.
40% would be on
They
campus.
come.
Omar, is there a specific amount of students that you are assigned to when it comes to who you mentor, or can any student come to you for mentorship?
Well, actually, it depends on the admission numbers, but
Okay.
it's usually about 15 students.
Okay. So you have maybe like an assigned 15 that you
Yes.
personally mentor.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And you mentor, according to the stats, you're mentoring more women
Yes.
than you're mentoring men, right?
Yes.
Tell us
That's
about
awesome.
that. How difficult is that? Because I know if you mentor guys like ourselves, we know got a lot of
Pretty cool.
problems.
No, a lot of
We
issues.
understand women have. Come on, talk.
Well, I don't really get into that, whether it's male or female. I mean, we watch everybody as students, and everybody need that level of assistance. So that's how we look at it, not as male and female.
What are some of the common issues that
Yeah.
a student might have that you
Right.
have to mentor them through?
The main thing is the orientation process, getting access to Moodle, to your Galen account, your email, etc. And just starting off the semester.
So they might have questions on how to use the platform. Okay.
Yes, how to gain access, and
Where
that's what
to
we try
go.
to cover in orientation.
Right. Because what's the process?
So the process would be you come into the university.
Right.
Like
not
at the moment of
not everyone has
acceptance.
to come into the university.
Not everyone has
Who
to
is
come.
requested
No.
to come to the university?
We encourage all students because
I agree with
especially
that.
for
You should. Everybody
especially
should
for online programs, we have some students that reach for the welcome day and they reach for graduation, and that is it.
Right.
So we don't see
But
them
they should come. I
on
mean,
campus.
you get face
Yes.
to face, you meet,
Yes.
you get a feel
Yes.
of the environment.
Yes,
of the
absolutely. So
university.
perhaps Omar can share sort of what the highlights about orientation or that on-campus aspect can
yeah,
be.
on campus.
Like Ms. Sylvia mentioned, that most students, when they start the university, they don't really get that on-campus experience because most of the demographic is online. So when they do come to orientation, we try to ensure that they're properly set up in terms of, like I said, accessing their Galen email, their account, the Moodle platform, completing advising, registering for their courses in order to have them start off on the right foot.
Right. Who to go, where to go, what room is, hosting,
Yes.
whatever.
And we also give them a little tour of the campus
That's
because most
right.
of them will
Yeah.
not see the campus for the rest of the year.
And Ms. Glitzy as well, her program is fully online, but you started off having a peer mentor and also being one
So
of
it's
the
really
students.
great, the peer mentor program. It really helps you feel that sense of belonging. Well, for me as a high school student, I didn't know anybody in the university.
So you went directly from high school?
Yes.
Okay. How long was that? How long
Well,
ago?
my program is 4 years, and I'm currently in my final year, so I'm
Wow.
almost done.
What are you measuring in?
I'm majoring in criminal justice.
Because you can be a detective?
Somewhat like that. I want to work in the criminal justice system.
Okay,
yes.
great. So careful.
I would be
You
very
know.
careful.
As Ms. Glitzy will investigate you. Mhm. And you're enjoying it? It was mostly online?
Yeah, it's
Your
mostly
studies.
online, and for me, it's very. In my case, I find it very helpful. It's very flexible in my case since I'm from Corozal. So if I had to
Okay.
go to the campus, then I'd have to travel all
that's
the
a
way
far-
here.
yeah.
It's very fun.
But the online classes have always been very interactive. They always keep you on your
So
toes.
you're a full-time student
Full-time
online?
student online, yes.
Right, so you're not working or anything, you're a full-time student. So what hours are your classes?
Well, my classes, as they're online, they're all in the evening, so I can dedicate my time to studying and also as a peer mentor.
That's cool because then she is affected by the what you
Yes.
call the
Yes, the non-working.
non-traditional
Yes.
students timing.
Yes,
You don't
absolutely.
have classes in the day like you would if you were at the
yes,
university. So you can't go at the night now.
I guess so. I need to do what I need to do.
Yeah, okay.
Amar, on the other hand, he is probably more within the non-traditional
Right,
category
yeah,
because
he has a job.
yes. So he works in the public service.
Yes, at the Ministry of Home Affairs in the Police Department in Belmopan.
Okay, and you're doing what?
I'm majoring in international business.
International business.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you're again online at night.
Yes, online.
Yeah. What time do your classes start? Let's say.
Well, it depends on the timing of my courses, but usually they range from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just 3 hours every day.
Well, I take 2 subjects, but it depends on how many credit hours they are too, so it depends.
Okay.
Yes.
That's not bad.
So, for a student who will be walking into orientation or logging into orientation, what can they expect?
So they can expect quite a number of activities for sure. So we have our virtual launch where they actually get to hear from their deans, they get to hear from their provosts, they get to hear from the heads of department. So during the entire orientation week, they're guided by their peer mentors. A really important part of that is advising. So you're starting off on the right track, knowing which classes you need to take, when your classes are going to be held, but also some of those questions of, what can I do with my degree? Some level of career guidance occurs. And then we bring them on campus for sure to get registered onto all of their platforms to make sure they're in their classes. And then one of the activities is also our welcome day. So we bring all of them on campus as well for sort of like an open day with the university. And again, sort of having that face-to-face contact with their advisors. And Galen really is accessible. Not all universities you have access to your president, you have access to your provost, you have access to heads of department or deans.
Yeah.
But for our open days, we ensure that those students have that one-on-one contact. And so we're really, really, really looking forward to welcoming our students on campus.
So I'm going back. I'm reminiscing now. When I went, and it was a different world. You end up on campus and they have the seniors
Yes.
registering you, asking your name.
Yes.
Because you have to go buy your books at the bookstore and buy your supplies. They show you where the libraries because you have to do your research, where your classroom is going to be, or where, things like that. How it's different now, right? All you need is this to go to university now, right?
Well, we hope that our students have a laptop as well. Not in addition to, that's one of the things we check what devices you're using to log on. Some do manage to do that on their cell phone. But really, our peer mentors are our seniors that help with that. The peer mentor program actually stands for Peer Eagles Exhibit Resilience.
Well,
and so, there are our mentors and there are our guides.
A follow-up
sure.
to Tamara's question. What's the advice you give? Generally, the first thing you tell a new student.
Well, I would say
Galen, what is it that you advice that you would give?
The first thing would be to get properly set up, because that can be very frustrating starting off a semester and you're not fully set up. For instance, trying to log into your class for the first day of school and you can't because you maybe missed orientation or missed a certain step. So the most important thing is to get them properly set up before classes start.
Yeah, and also to get familiar with the Moodle platform, because if you've never used it, it can be challenging.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a learning curve.
Especially for someone, in my case, coming back to school after so many years.
Now, when it comes to maybe mid-semester or different issues like drop add or queries with grades and stuff, is that something that a student can come to a peer mentor to assist them with? Can you direct a student if they're having issues like those?
Yeah.
Well, yes, we can assist them with the process of it, but that's also when the drop out period, when their advisors come in. So that's when we advise them, to meet with their advisors because they can help them make better decisions when it comes to that. And it's just us to guide them towards the resources, right?
Do we ever have to motivate them, Omar? Maybe they're slacking off one of your cohort, and you want to encourage them to, we have to do this, we have to pull through.
Yeah.
Well, I have had instances where my mentees would say, they're either going through a hard time or they're financially or work overload, and I do try to talk them into staying true and sticking it true and pointing them towards the resources that the university offers.
Because you do have counselors for that, right?
Yes.
You do have people who deal with that situation.
Yes. A part of the peer mentor program is really reminding students, hey, these resources are here, this is how you contact them. But it's also doing that one-on-one check-in. So you all have to do monthly
one-on-one sessions.
Yes. Monthly one-on-one sessions with their 15 assigned students. All right?
Let's suppose I call you and I say, let's say, Miss Sylvia, give me an F, and I don't deserve my F. I know I did, but
I would be the one to give the F.
Will you go and go for me and advocate to Miss Sylvia, or you will tell me, you deal with Miss Sylvia yourself?
Well, we just try to support them through it, and actually it's best for the student to talk with their lecturer first.
But you help me with that. I mean,
yes, we try to understand the situation and because when you try to address a situation like this, you just want to be clear with what's going on. So we can assist them with that and guide them throughout to how they can talk to their lecturer. Try to smooth the process and clear the situation.
Now, what's the benefit of being a peer mentor? What do you get out of it?
Pretend like I'm not listening.
Credit on the side.
Yes. Omar?
Well, there are several benefits. For me, it's a platform for me to exercise my leadership capabilities and to broaden my skills.
That's a good answer. To begin
and also to pay it forward, because I myself was paired with a peer mentor when I first started, and I benefited greatly from that experience. So for me, it's paying it forward.
Completely selfless response. Glitzy, what are the benefits to you as a peer helper?
Well, like I said, the peer mentor helps with a sense of belonging, and that's what I also felt. So kind of like Omar is like a way to pay it forward. For me too, I've also developed a lot of skills throughout the program. Like I said, I'm a full-time student, so I wanted also to connect with the school and with other people, and that's what I've had throughout my whole experience here. So it's really rewarding to be a peer mentor.
So we actually have a quiz for them, so we ensure that they are sort of up to date with the university experiences, and we do have a very competitive application process. So we look at a combination of our peer mentors' leadership skills, but we also look at their motivation to join the program, and also their ability to sustain the program, because the last thing we cannot handle is for a peer mentor to probably drop out of the program within like the middle of the semester, because that's only 15 students without that, without that contact.
I agree.
And both Omar and Glitzy, they are senior peer mentors, so starting tomorrow they're going to train the incoming group, and they're going to be the ones sort of leading these sessions and also sharing their experiences. I actually have a question for both of you. What was your most perhaps difficult situation with your mentee?
And how did you overcome it?
Well, I think it's just trying to form that connection. Because first you want to, like Miss Sylvia said, it's a process. You try to build a connection, to build that trust, and to be able to feel comfortable to reach out to your peer mentor and with any questions or concerns. So I think that's the most difficult thing to start off the program, but we just try to work with it, try to perhaps find something in common interest, to just build that trust with each other.
Does you said you get about an average of 15 students each. You get the names of these students. You do.
Yes.
And they get your name.
Well, we reach out
So
to
who
them.
you reach? Yeah, that's what I was coming.
Yeah,
Who
email,
makes
yes.
the contact? You contact them and say, "Do you need any help?"
Yes.
Is that basically what you do, right?
Yes.
Well, the program is structured also, so they have to create a WhatsApp group chat with their students, and they have to send a welcome email as well. So some people prefer email, some people prefer WhatsApp. I find that sometimes our mentors get ignored
It happens.
Yeah.
until the student that like, oh my gosh, I try log in and I can't log in, and I
Then-
never do
then
this
you
one
have a
step,
name,
and then they reach
Then
out
they
to their
reach out to us,
mentors
yeah.
for sure. Around mid-semester, I think some of our mentors, we have to motivate them and say, you know, they might not be answering you because they're in exams, or this is their first semester, midterms is a lot. But so you see that dip in communication,
Well,
definitely, but they have a contact person. That
But
is the
that's
important
my
part.
question was going to be: if I was a mentor, no news is good news. If you don't
Exactly.
need, if you
That
don't
means
need
you're
me,
doing great.
I'm not going to contact
Actually,
you. But
sometimes no news is the ones that are maybe not doing well in classes, or they're struggling a little bit, or sometimes no news is a signal of they're not showing up to their classes, they're not showing up to some part,
Wow.
or they may have a challenge that they
So
need to
you have
overcome.
a compass or something, to show. I haven't heard from Joe Blow
Well,
for a month. So let me just.
I want to ask, because we're running out of time, about the back to school offer that Galen is having. I
Yeah.
know you're having admissions pop up.
Yes. So we actually, although we are starting orientation and we have our peer mentors in training, we have our admissions are still open. So we actually are offering a back to school offer, and this looks like getting your full application in at one of our Galen University pop-ups. Our next one is at the Downtown Super Sale on Saturday. So if you get in your entire application, and that includes your social security card, 2 passport size pictures, and your $60 application fee, your $60 application fee, you will be eligible for a 10% off of your semester invoice. That means you have to pay at least 50% off, so you have a discount coming in, but you also have a 1-day admissions. So that's guaranteed. Bring in your application form and you will be admitted into university in 24 hours. So for some people who may be listening, I know all of these things, these BPO discussions are happening. If you are thinking of joining Galen University, you still have time, but orientation is starting, so the time is running down.
When's the deadline?
The deadline is actually until the 30th of August, so we have about 5 more same day admission pop-up areas. We are still accepting applications across the board and online, so if you cannot make it to one of those 1-day admission pop-ups, then you can still reach out to Galen University, visit our website, visit our Facebook page, call our campus, visit our offices. We are available online and accessible. You still have time to apply, but again, classes start on the 1st of September.
Are there any classes that are full? Any
They're not
subjects?
classes that are full as yet because we're just working on our registration, but we're definitely seeing an increase in numbers. And so what we do is we have to add more classes.
Right.
Yes, but it might be that you might not have the time that you would wanted to do
But
your
the
classes.
end of August is the end of it.
The end of August is the
Definitely
end of
until
it. So
next-
get in your
next semester.
applications. And again, with our one-day admissions, we are on social media or on the Galen website. And if you bring in your full application package, you have discounts and you have the ability to enter into a raffle that we have ongoing as well, so that you earn sort of credits toward your bill, toward your balance.
If I was a student and I you know, I know Omar Glitzy, I could.
We do have some mentees who definitely ask. They're like, I don't want. Belize is a small place, and some people end up knowing people, and they're like, I don't know. She used to be my sister-in-law, and I don't really want. And I'm like, well, you don't have to share all of that information. Let's see how we can match you. But one of the things that we also have ongoing is our back-to-school drive as well. So we have a variety of scholarship students, and right now our George Price Scholar, in support of the service activities of the late Right Honorable George Kittle Price, they're doing a backpack drive. So we are actually accepting school supplies right now so that we can help at least 50 single mothers send their kids back to school with backpacks that have all the school supplies that a kid might need. So if you feel like supporting our back to school drive, absolutely do so. We are accepting donations still. And if you feel like coming to Galen University, admissions are still open, so apply.
All right, that's all the time we have for this morning. So we want to say thank you so much. That's Miss Sylvia Batty. She is a Director of Student Affairs at Galen. Miss Glitzy Kokol, peer mentor at Galen. And Mr. Omar Phillips, also peer mentor at Galen University. Thank you all so much for coming in. Yeah, so what we do now, we take a break, or next time when we come back, we'll be talking about
Yes.
this Miss African Queen coming up. All right, so we'll be back.
World